Hello, beautiful people. Today we're looking at the House Atreides run in Dune Spice Wars. It's a new game that I'm playing. It's a game that I've recently found out about, and it's been a blast thus far. It's kind of pricey, but there's no buts. There really is a high price point for the game, which I'm. Let me just get my facts straight. I think it was about $50 that I've paid. Dude, but I have to check um once again how much did I pay. Right, it wasn't 50, so sorry for that. It was 45 that I've paid because I've got a 10% discount, and of course I bought the deluxe edition, so stupid me. But the base game is $35. It's kind of steep-ish for what it offers. I mean, it's your generic RTS. Basically, we'll be going through the selection phase right now. Basically, the game evolves around these skirmishes. Skirmishes are regular, regular battles, RTS battles, like in most RTS games, for example, Age of Empires, and yeah, Age of Empires, and well, regular RTS games. Basically, how it goes, how it goes on, basically, how it starts. We actually let me not for now, but I will be adding some things in the beginning of the video to make it more clear, I guess, or rather we could check it out after. That's what I thought, because this is the most interesting part of the game. The other screens you stay on maybe 1 or 2 minutes at most, but here is where the bulk of the action happens. Basically, I'm saying basically way too much today, aren't I? So the main thing is you are facing off against two or at most three other opponents for control over an area of Dune. Now we're fighting against Harkonnen and the Emperor, actually. Each of our areas of control are hashed here. So we are green, Harkonnen is red, and the Emperor is actually this light grayish. This I'm not aware what it is right now, but as I move on through the game, we'll see. Against other factions, you basically have very limited diplomatic options. You have stances. Here we have a truce with House Corino, which represents the Emperor. Basically, it means that we will not be attacking our. I mean, we can attack each other's units, but this can lead to an all-out war, and we can actually sign treaties with them. This is how the diplomacy works. It has 4 treaties that you can sign, and the trading is right here. Against Harkonnen, we basically could force a truth by using up a resource called influence. Influence is gathered, so the game progression is split out in days and months. You have your resource output for a day. That's how much you receive in a day of this game. The primary currencies are Solari, which is the base currency, it's the gold of the game. You have plus crit, which is basically the productional output, the construction elements that you use mostly to upgrade buildings. But each building you construct and each unit you recruit actually has a Solari upkeep. So keep that in mind, because that's why you see that I have built so few buildings compared to, for example, Harkonnen. My Solari output is basically centered towards armies. I have 10 units split in two armies, each operating in a theater of war against the Harkonnen. Then you have manpower. Manpower is used for building garrisons in each settlement. Each settlement has a garrison here, which is kept at a certain amount of units. So, for example, here I would have 3 units kept at 3. Here I'm just recruiting some units, and I guess I've forgotten to add garrisons for everything, but they can be increased with military buildings like this one. This one is actually a defensive building that I'm using for just defending the region in case of an attack by either rebels or Harkonnen. Then you have fuel cell that are used to create mech units, like for example the support drone, which I'm not using currently. Maybe I should be using it, but I'm missing the Solari for it. It's rather expensive to recruit, and I'd rather use that for something else. You have the water. So the water that you have in reserve basically increases the supply um, range of the armies. Well, range, the supply bonus, or the supplies, maximum supplies of each army. And the authority is a resource that's generated over time, and it allows us to basically annex other regions. You start with only one region, the outpost, which is a simple outpost, and as you add more regions to your empire of sorts, you can evolve that to an advanced outpost, which allows for buildings to be built. There's a slight difference in buildings built in the advanced outpost and the villages, but we'll get to that very soon. Uh, the other basically main resource is the standing in the Landsraad. The Landsraad are regular council meetings with every house on the planet, in which certain what you call it? It's not topics. Let's call them topics for now. Basically, each session for the next 20 days, I believe. Every there are three proposals put into vote. Some of them can affect a specific faction, like all of them here, or others take effect over all of the factions. You can support a few charters if you want. Spending influence, which I'm not doing at the moment. Maybe I should. Right, let's do that. Okay, it decreases our influence, but it might help us in the long term. Basically, you can support charters, which has a positive effect on your what you call it, on your empire. Like for example, here 2 Solari per positive water. And there are some prerequisites. You have to have a standing with the Landsraad, which can be either gathered through influence production and buildings. So buildings actually does that. Another Buildings actually do that. Another important resource is knowledge that you get from villages, where you build research centers, or villages have certain quirks. Quirks are specific bonuses to that village. For example, this one uh, has a 10 solar production when the village has at least one building of each type. So I would have to build a statecraft building and a military one to access this bonus. But this one can be accessible as soon as I build more statecraft buildings. This quirk actually benefits us in allowing us to minimize, in a sense, the upkeep that we pay for said buildings. Now, here we can also recruit agents. They are recruited over a period of time, automatically recruited, and you can assign them to certain fields. You can assign them to missions, which include probe setup, defense sabotage. You can sabotage an enemy settlement, or you can assign them to information gathering. For example, assigning them to Iraqis, they actually offer us some benefits. For example, um, in this field here, we get more authority produced every turn. In Landsraad, we get influence. In Chome, we get Solari, and in Spacing Guild, we gain main power. Now, and you can also assign them to specific factions to gather more intel about them. Right now, I'm the poorest faction because I use most of my money to buy Choa. The Choa market basically allows us to buy shares into the company. We currently have the most shares in the company. We started with the lowest, but made some investments, which I don't think it gets us a lot. I mean, it gets us some military power after a certain threshold. We currently haven't reached a threshold, but at 10% we'll get allows the training of mercenaries and +2 influence. So there really is an incentive to buying these shares. And in a skirmish, when you reach 50%, I think, of all the auctions, you by default win the game, win the skirmish, and you gain control of the contested region. Now, from the right menu, you can also recruit units, set rally points where new units will be recruited, which I should have done instead of basically sending them to the what you call them, front. I think front is the word, right? Well, basically sending them from the main base to the more reclusive frontier bases. Yeah, frontier bases sounds correct. And for us at least, because these units are very faction specific. So we have wardens, which the other factions don't have. We have heavy weapon squad, ranger, trooper is the standard unit in the game. Another important thing is that you can also research developments. There are many developments that are faction specific. Like with the Harkonnen, you can research post-trauma reintegration. You can research cultural assimilation, which actually gives us a lot of benefits to peaceful annexation. You can either attack with an unit any neutral village and defeat their local militia, then annex them by using only authority, or you can spend some influence and annex them peacefully over a larger period of time, like in this example for 10 days. But if we conquer the village, we'll be annexing it in 1.5 days, but at the cost of 2 for 1 authority. Now, I think I've covered the. Oh, and another super important resource is spice. Spice is used for generating more Solari by selling the surplus, or by paying the imperial tax that has a cooldown of 30 something days, I believe. Basically, based on your contract, you have to pay the imperial tax automatically, and it is taken out of your stockpile every time the timer is being reset, if that makes sense. Right. So on the map, you also have resources. Like, for example, I have a spice field that I can use harvesters to uh, basically harvest it and produce more spice for my stockpile. Sometimes events such as sandworms popping up around these spy fields happen, and you have to select here a recall option for harvesters to actually be saved, as opposed to them being eaten by a giant worm in the space. Other resources are, for example, rare elements, which allows us to construct processing plant that increases our solar production significantly. That is very interesting as well. Basically, at the bottom of each village, you also get the resource output of them. Basically, for each village, what it actually outputs. We have the building slots right here that are occupied, and the number of militia that are actively defending the city, the village, should it be attacked by an enemy force. Sometimes, or on the overlay of the map, some random events happen where you can just select what to do when those happen. Like sending a military unit, you'll get 156 intel, or if I use an agent, I get a Fremen mercenary. These kinds of events are rather what you call it, randomized. I could output basically. I could maximize uh, all of these events if I had the time or the need to do so. But I think the regular play is just fine. The game flows magnificently. There's another kind of resource of sorts that's important. It's hegemony. Hegemony is basically how much of the map you control and how powerful you are. As it becomes bigger, it kicks off some benefits to your faction. You can choose from multiple factions for this game. This is a conquest game, so with that in mind, let's. Are you sure to quit? Unsafe progress will be lost and you'll be back before launching this battle. No. So let's go back to the actual game and let's try to set up a new game, right? So you have three options. You have the skirmish, which is basically what we have been playing, but only that skirmish, and it allows us to select multiple factions, much more than we currently can use. We have House Atreides, House Vernius, that are new. You have the Smugglers and the Fremen. Or you can start a clanly duel. This is a duel against only two factions. The same number of factions as in the skirmish that you can use. Or a rather new game, which is basically a game of controlling the map. What does control, or not rather the map, but the entire planet? What does that mean? Well, let's hop into one House Harkonnen, and each of the factions have some bonuses. For example, I'm the only one that can use peaceful annexation. My villages cost 10% or an X and are 10% longer to liberate. So basically, enemies have to pay more to get control of our villages, and Solari upkeeps are reduced by 10%, which is great for our units. But we cannot pillage neutral villages, and these are the bonuses that I get at certain points and certain thresholds of hegemony. Right. Now, House Harkonnen has different ones, can use oppression on villages, can sacrifice an agent to reduce the mission's cost, and villages gain plus 5% resource production per active militia. Maybe that's why they are so strong right now, financially or economically. And villages suffer minus 10% resource production. Let's see how a game looks like right now to see how we've started this game and how we've gotten to the point that we were previously. And we'll go back and talk about the game some more. Right. This is the overlay map.
How ironic that such.
Here you can basically select a skirmish for a round. You have multiple regions that you must control. For example, False Wall South, Haga Basin, which is uncontrolled. It provides a bonus to manpower. It has some improvements that will help you further along the gameplay. So if you actually control this region, each new skirmish will take effect with your um what you call it, with your bonuses in effect. But you can select only up to two skirmishes, like this one for example. Like we've started, we pick two counselors for a couple of more bonuses. I've picked young Paul Atreides, which means you know who young Paul is. I mean, right? It's not RuPaul. Right. And you also get some development assets that you can improve provinces that you own. Currently, you cannot you basically don't control any privacy, so that's why you don't have any assets that you can use. Right. Now let's go back to our actual game and load the latest save. I just wanted to show you those screens. Those are unimportant as of now. I'm just trying to delve into the gameplay a little bit, because for Atreides house, I'll be only be doing one skirmish and then just get on with it because I'm kind of bored. But the game itself is very good. It's quite on par with any Paradox game I've seen, and I consider Paradox gaming games as being at the top of the food chain in their respective areas. If that makes sense to you, if not, just leave it out in the comments. Say that you're getting insane again, Stefan. But that's fine. I mean, I'm sometimes getting insane. Sometimes you also get some missions that you have to complete uh, within a set number of days, and actually they offer some pretty good rewards, to be fair. And this is an amazing one. Holy shit! I should start an operation and go and kill some Harkonnen units. But then again, it's not necessary to complete them. There's no drawbacks to not completing them, so you won't get any debuffs if you don't complete them. But the interface is super cool, and one very good thing that's getting on with this game. Oh, and you can set actually the game speed, but it's kept at 2 times the normal speed. But one thing that's amazing, another thing, sorry, you can use omniporters to just scan the whole world, or basically what you call it, transport troops from certain points on the map. I'm using only one at the moment. Another was destroyed. But basically, you can set it on auto recon. It will just explore the whole map for you automatically, which is fucking amazing. I mean, it's an amazing quality of life. But what was I going to stress on is the game itself works perfectly, works flawlessly. Everything, I mean, everything is explained perfectly in the game. So every resource, every village, every quirk is super nicely explained. You have here on the map every information that you would actually need. You have the resource output, you have the number of militia, you have the number of building slots that have been built. I mean, the game is amazing in this small quality of life things that it has going on. So it's one of the most polished games in the genre I've ever played, and I think it's the smoother one regarding UX, UI, and basically how the game flows itself. I mean, to be fair, it's one of the best games I've ever played of its genre in a long time. It I want to say that it reminds me of a game, but I really don't know. It's like it makes. That's the thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Dragon Commander from Larian regarding the overlay map that is turn-based, and after selecting a region you want to conquer, it goes into an RTS minigame. But then again, it's super different mechanics-wise. But yeah, I think that would be a close comparison because right now we are on an RTS type of game, split up into different regions that you can control for varying bonuses, which is then again amazing. It reminds me of how some Paradox games work, but I think this one is, of course, a little bit simpler. Well, much simpler than Paradox games, but much more free flowing and fluid. I mean, you can see everything on the map. You have right here in this overlay everything you need to actually, play the game. And I'm actually mounting an attack on Harkonnen at the moment. Could I be winning? Let's see if I could be winning this fight. Because if I'm winning the fight, then I might take over their village next. Right, let's attack them. They're building new troops right now, which is very good. at least put a dent in their economy, which would be amazing for us. And actually, this region contains a spice field. That's gonna be huge for our. Okay, a spice worm came here, recalling that harvester. You see also here on the right menu the danger icon that says, okay, a worm is coming, take everybody out. A construction finished here. I don't know what I've constructed, but I've constructed something. Okay, the fuel cell factory because I have energy resources. These produce fuel cells that I will be using for mechanized units. And I'm also building a market for solar production because I kind of need that. Right, we've defeated another of their units. Right now we're defeating the last of their units, which is a trooper. I have a new development research that increases our knowledge, basically increasing our, I mean, it almost doubled our knowledge, which is the research throughput. And right now, I think I'm researching the last military development. Non-mechanical units get plus, two, plus 2% max health per 25 lens. I mean, it would be amazing. Holy shit, liberating or annexing a village from a faction with less. I mean, everybody has less land standing than me. Holy shit, this is an amazing thing to research. And in 14 days, it will be finished by the end of the month, which would come in effect pretty nicely. Now we need to be taking care of their militia, which are so militias are less stronger
Make it worth my time.
types of opposition. Corino came up with a proposal. Another thing that I don't like, or I think it's the first thing that I don't like thus far, you cannot counter propose, and they are offering an amazingly bad deal for us, which I'll just be rejecting. Right now, we're killing off their militia, and actually, I think I'll be retreating my troops. Right, we are retreating my friends. And the reason why I'm retreating is mainly because I cannot you lose these units. I mean, I don't want to lose these units. These units, I want them to just heal up. If we can kill one of them, theirs, that would be great. Right, let's heal everybody. Let's heal. Right, I think I'll be using losing one unit at least, but no, I think we've won, and I've lost a harvester. Shit. You can deploy again. I'm spending manpower to increase its crew. Right, so these units here didn't fare as nicely as I would have hoped, which means I have to bolster this army, which I'll be doing right now by setting a rally point. Must be an airfield. I don't have airfields, that's the thing. What should I bring on? I think I should bring on a... What do we have here? We have a lot of wardens, but we don't have a ranger for some basically some very cool output, which we are doing right now. The only thing that is maybe a little stranger is that uh, Solari Solari um, output changes fluctuates a lot, depending on a lot of factors, which you can never really prepare yourself for. With that in mind, I think I want to offer House Carino a
Make
deal.
it worth my time.
So I want them to give me, let's say, 1k. Oh, and you cannot manually set the amount in trade. So you have no counter offers, you have no way to manually insert input here. Let's go for 900. And 900 Solari for... Right, so control click actually improves us. For 1000 plus crit. Let's see what they think. Right, so now we have money. We can... We've replenished our troops. We're recruiting a new ranger that will join our existing troops here, and we could also be building a not airfield, but I want a missile battery to increase the overall defensiveness of this village right here, because I'll be using it as the main staging ground for the next invasions. Right, this guy was getting super attacked, which I don't really like, and we're not dealing enough damage to be fair. That's a problem. Yeah, that's the problem we have here. We have now ranged fighters, which hopefully will change for the better right now. The advanced outpost actually gives us super good options for building powerful new facilities, but they're much more expensive than regular ones. Right now, I'm not really sure why I'm not dealing enough damage, but right now with this cannon, I hope that I can deal just enough damage to be able to pack a larger punch. Right, let's heal up and continue. I have 2k gold, so I could be building something here. Basically, I have a complete your districts with same type of buildings to unlock these bonuses. So right now I want to build another statecraft. I think this one with more operation slots might be very useful. Oh, right. So I have a conflict here. Here I don't have any conflicts, but I want them to regroup here. They sometimes wander off. So here I have how many troops? 3 troops. Might not be enough though, that's the problem I have. Let's... Up to 2 non-mechanical units are saved inside the support drone instead of dying. That could help, but not by much. Heavy weapons. What do you do? Right, I think I need a heavy weapon squad. I don't have that there, which might impact us negatively. After this unit finishes healing, I think we can mount another attack on them. And we'll be doing precisely that. We're mounting another attack, their units are on low HP. And trying to break right now. So we've actually triggered an occupation which spawned their militia, which will be now trying to destroy. Right. Everybody just attack and kill those units. So the research is done. We should have more health right now. I want to research the urban planning for some better technology there. And it's a resource specific one, so that's great. Right, there's way too many um right, there's too many fronts at the moment, but I think I can handle them kind of. So we're destroying. Okay, our new unit has spawned. Let's move it here. I should build more airfields or something, but that requires planning and upkeep, which I cannot afford at the moment. Right now, we've taken care of almost all of their militia, which should enable us to take over this village. Could provide very good. Let's see, we can pillage. I don't want to pillage. I don't want to liberate it. I want to annex it, basically. Right. Oh, the council has started. So this is how the council looks. This is how the council screen looks. Now, this is the elected faction and all factions. Charter priority increased with Solari increased of influence. I don't want that because I have influence. I don't have Solari. Allows to replace one resolution at start of each council. Speaker of the council. Right. Uh, plus 100 buying price, but what plus? I don't care about that. Right. I hope not me. So I'm gonna post this with 70 votes and nothing here. Let's see what happens. These aren't really okay. So House Harkonnen was hit with a larger buying price for stock actions for shares. Carino is Speaker of the Council, and they can. Okay, so we've started it, but how much does it? How longer does it take? It takes quite a few days to finish. I don't know how to tell them to just hold their position, but still learning the game, I guess. Okay, this cannon here really helps a lot. These guys are super powerful. Holy shit. Right. How can they build them? I mean, they're insanely good. Right. Let's improve the rangers a little bit. Long rifle or better attack speed. Right, I want that. And I think I want automatic weapons. Right, I don't want that much power, but attack speed might be a benefit for us. Right, I'm improving the lower tiered units at the moment. I'm actually losing some money right now, but I don't care about that much. So the Cho market is down by a lot. I mean, we could be using that to our advantage. Let's buy some more shares. House Corino has a lot of shares, holy shit. When did they buy so much? I mean, we have around 8% still. Maybe that's why House Corino will win. Hopefully not, but this cannon here is amazing. It's doing all of our heavy lifting for us. Right, very good, very good. Doesn't that deal that much damage, but just enough. How I mean, let's go back. I don't want to attack them yet. I've already thwarted some of their attempts to capture this city, which I wouldn't particularly enjoy. Right, let's send some troops here. Construction possible in advanced outpost, but I don't want to be constructing anything in the advanced outpost. This might prove super beneficial for us. Let's see. Maybe it won't, but you never know. Okay, I've killed their unit here, and I'm killing their unit here. Afterwards, this secondary army will be moving here. Sandworm. Fucking hell. I think we've lost another harvester. Let's deploy this one. It's just finished building, and I've forgotten about it. How are things going here? I mean, they're not particularly good now, are they? That's a problem. Well, at least our units are our turret helps us a lot, and I think we've lost a unit here. Right, we've lost an unit. We've actually taken control of this region almost, and we're fighting to our best to just keep control of that. Let's retreat. You retreat. Go there to heal. Right, I should be more concerned with keeping my units alive at the moment. The next, okay, I'm losing a lot of money. I think because um I think because basically this here is so Drew Collector. I don't really need that. Right, and I don't think I need the. Oh, it actually off-puts. But I need the market which generates Solari, and I kind of need the refinery as well. Let's deploy this one as well. And I don't have the money to recruit new units yet. Right, we're still losing money, which isn't great. But here we have a strong core of seasoned veterans. Right. I might actually need to rethink this whole process here because, okay, I have +4 income. So, a new development happened. Right, trade agreement treaty. When another faction betrays a truce, um, produce. Right, this for the extra Solari. That's what I want. Okay, this is how the game feels basically. I just hope I gave you some better idea of how the game operates, how it feels. It feels super good, so it's everything is super smooth. I'll just be, I think, at the risk of some resources, I have to recruit more more units here. How much is their upkeep? Let's recruit 2 more wardens. I kind of need that at the moment. And now I can do trade
It is
agreement.
worth
What
my
does that
time.
mean? +3 Solari production. Would would you agree with that? Let me see, because if we have this, we could just, right, trade accepted, which bolstered our economy a lot by a lot. It could allow us to actually build a missile battery here as well. Right here, to provide the starting point for our new invasion. I should be deploying you, building up your crew a little bit. Now I have 4 harvesters. I've basically destroyed one over their prime spice spots, which are a very valuable resource in the game. In, in actuality, right? We've killed 2 more of their units. Next, next on, I think we're taking over Quam 4. It's a super nice game. It's easy to get lost in it, but this is the basics. This is how it plays. I just edited the video out to be a little less convoluted. And thanks for joining. It's one of those games. You either love it or hate it. I love it at the moment, but I'm kind of getting bored a little bit. So that's the thing. After playing it for quite a while, you get bored, and I've kind of gotten bored of the RTS part of the game. So hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment, and just remember, I love you guys. You're amazing.